Returning to the Italian front of World War II and the backdrop of 2017 Sniper Elite 4, Sniper Elite VR shelves main marksman Carl Fairburn and casts us as a rough-and-tumble Italian resistance fighter with a similarly potent penchant for putting holes in Nazis. Boasting a hardy arsenal of World War II weapons that feel great to shoot, Sniper Elite VR's arcade-style combat is bloody fun, though a number of technical kinks and a poorly paced story hold it back from being a bona fide bullseye. Sniper Elite VR does perform well on the Oculus Quest 2. It's easy to sustain 90 frames per second in the heat of the action, and that's especially important given that you need those high frame rates in order to keep your edge in the midst of Sniper Elite's fast-paced combat. There can be quite a lot going on at any given moment. Most of the time you spend in Sniper Elite VR has you exploring on your own, sneaking through enemy lines, perching yourself upon vantage points for the best shot, and performing specific objectives to move through each map. There's a thin story here, but it's poorly told and even more poorly paced. It's literally impossible to care about any of these characters because just as soon as they're introduced, they either die or betray you. The chronic narration is also downright awkward. The narrator's wistful tone completely clashes with Sniper Elite's constant carnage.
I had no choice but to stand and fight.
And missions simply end with a mission complete menu that shows your score. The story serves solely as a reason to run around, blow things up, and kill Nazis. That said, this is an arcade game at its core. It features enjoyable arcade-style combat that clearly displays how many points you earn per action, and it rewards you the highest bonuses for pulling off the most creative or tricky kills with your sniper rifle. It's cool that you get bonus points, for example, against enemies that were distracted by fighter planes droning overhead. Sniper Elite VR also retains the series' positively wild kill cam, and depending on how far you dial it up, you can see your best kills in intense X-ray detail. Avert your eyes if you're squeamish, however. This is at least as gruesome as Mortal Kombat's fatality system. But at least you can turn it off in the menu if this isn't your style. There are plenty of different classic WW2 era firearms like the Carabiner 98K and the MP40, and it's great that you can customize your loadout between missions to get the weapons you want right out of the gate. Each one operates differently and has an appropriate kick. On regular difficulty, every bullet is a tracer, meaning you can immediately adjust your accuracy as needed. It doesn't look that cool, but it's useful for practicing your shot and being more effective in combat. It's especially useful when playing with a weapon that suffers from serious bullet drop, or when timing comes into play and you need to be very deliberate with your shots.
Rank is no shield against a well-aimed bullet.
You can hold your offhand trigger to activate slow motion, which also displays a reticle where you're aiming your gun. Due to the fact that for some reason every weapon fires a little above your sights, I found myself leaning on this feature a lot by the end, kinda like how it's easy to end up relying too much on VATS in Fallout or the Deadeye system in Red Dead Redemption. Grabbing and reloading weapons feels more natural than it did in Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond, and there are some great accessibility options and difficulty settings that help you customize your experience. The Oculus Quest 2's tracking itself is pretty iffy though, and there are too many moments where you might actually grab your sidearm or outright drop your rifle when you're trying to reload. There are some other kinks to work out too. For instance, attempting to crouch in the real world causes Sniper Elite VR to stop and show an out-of-bounds sign until you press a button that makes your character crouch for you. Other times, things just outright stop working. It's also particularly aggravating that the final few missions are locked behind completely arbitrary and random progress gates that force replays of several missions before it's even possible to finish the main story. Sniper Elite VR is good enough to satisfy the craving for a solid World War II shooter on the Oculus Quest 2, but a lack of cohesion between its enjoyable arcade sniping and its boring story can sometimes slow the experience to a halt. Its over-the-top arcade combat is fun though, and that's where Sniper Elite VR truly shines. Its wide arsenal combined with its nuanced ballistic simulation mechanics at least make it an interesting and replayable sandbox where you can always pop in to shoot a few Nazis. For more VR, check out our reviews of Half-Life Alyx and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and for everything else, stick with IGN.